I often get asked about neurodiversity and why so many conditions display so many similarities and how they are related to each other. My name is Conor McDonough from Keros Therapies. We provide support to children and adults where they have difficulties with autism and sensory processing difficulties. So the most common neurodivergent conditions are autism, ADHD, and sensory processing difficulties. So many of the characteristics of autism, ADHD, and sensory processing difficulties relate to executive dysfunctions. So when information travels through our central nervous system, it goes through our midbrain, but it ultimately ends in our brain. And where a person has difficulties with executive functioning, we can identify these difficulties in the frontal cortex of our brain, because this is where many processing skills happen. So the ability to plan and organize thoughts. It also has an impact on focus and concentration, impulsivity, the ability to problem solve situations and to be creative. And if you consider autism, we often see difficulties with planning and organizing activities and tasks. We see difficulties with poor focus and attention. We also see children and adults who struggle to sequence tasks, so this is following 2 to 3 instructions. And we see lots of repetitive behaviours where children and adults will have difficulties with creatively coming up with alternative solutions to complete tasks. So therefore their activities can be very repetitive. When a person has difficulties with ADHD, they can be often very impulsive in their actions and they may struggle with focus and attention. They may also have difficulties with managing their emotions, so they quickly go into meltdown. And when a person has difficulties with processing sensory information, again, they can be very distractible. They will struggle to focus and concentrate on tasks. They may have difficulties with planning and organizing their thoughts. And often they can be very impulsive in their behaviors. But to understand this fully, sometimes we need to go back a step, because as I mentioned previously, much of our information travels through the central nervous system and the midbrain. And the midbrain has a very important role in managing things like impulsivity, focus, attention, and concentration, and therefore has a big impact on how we behave, because our midbrain plays a very important role in some of our basic functions like breathing and our heart rate, etc. So where there's difficulties in the central nervous system, we can often receive too much information or not enough of this. Therefore, it either makes us breathe quicker, or makes our heart rate go faster, or it does the opposite. Therefore, it initially has an impact on our levels of calmness. And as you can imagine, this will have an impact on our ability to perform these higher level skills like planning, organizing, and problem solving. If this information is useful, please follow me for more information.